Here we go. Getting ready to kick off a beautiful night. Colorado National Speedway. We are green. Side by side down the back straightaway. More like 3 wide into turn number 3, leaning on each other. Who's going to be lap number 1 leader? And by 5/1000ths of a second, the M60 of Christner. But you can see down the back straightaway, the 21 of Nelson gets the lead. And will claim it crossing the line. Battle is for third. Earnhardt to the inside. The number 3 of Mike Cox. And the 82 of Ian Clark. Ian, a rookie competitor here to the Colorado National Speedway. Cox going for second now. Looking to the inside of the M60 of Christner. Well, leading this one, Chris Nelson. Half a second lead. We'll see what happens now that Cox has gone up into the second spot. Cox seems to be the hard charger in this race. Oh, little squeeze in third spot. Christner and the 82 of Clark having a come together. Not much. Just enough to trade some paint. It'll be 1 lap past halfway, 4 laps to go. Cox, 0.7 of a second deficit crossing the line last lap. Visually, it looks like he is starting to reel in. The 21 of Nelson as a battle for third continues on. Half a second separates your top 2. Third spot battle down the back straightaway. Christner on the outside in the M60. Ian Clark on the inside going for third. Now takes it out of 4. If it doesn't slide and lose time, because here comes Christner now to the inside. Bit of a cross under move. They make some contact, and the 82 is hanging on to it. Easy does it. Easy does it. Ian Clark. That was a race for third. Clark had his hands full. White flag waves. Final lap. Chris Nelson back to a 0.7 of a second lead over the number 3 of Cox. Into 3. Nelson took the lead down the back straightaway and has yet to look back since. Your dash winner is Chris Nelson. With Cox, Christner, Clark. Great save, by the way. Claiborne and Giles running out your 6-car street stock dash. Coming up next will be the Grand American Modifieds. Well, looks like we get some interview action. No? Just a hot lap? That's cool. Let's take a look. There goes. Trophy out the window. And Nelson already picked up one of the first trophies of the night. It's always a good feeling going back to the trailer no matter what with a trophy. And the Modifieds roll onto the racetrack. So your field in this one. Grand American Modified Dash. The 52, Jared Wall, alongside the number 8. Oh, late entry. It's open wheel. Speedy Gonzalez. Looks like they're lining them up. Oh, we got some debris. Okay. The quicker picker-upper now on the case here. All right, back to your lineup. The 52 of Jared Wall, Benjamin Stanley in the 8 car to the outside. Row 2, Steve Rodenbaugh in the 2, and Chris Cox, the 49, who last race out, which I believe was the one we were at 2 weeks ago during Outlaw Figure 8 night. Chris Cox swept the night of racing. Can that streak continue to stay alive? David Robinson in the number 7, Forrest Smith in the 69, Damian Lockhart and Travis Rudolph. 8 cars for 10 laps here. Once that pace car pulls off, by the way, I've learned, you better get with it. You don't be slouching, because they're going to leave without you. Out of 4, we are green. And the Carpenter ants are crawling up my arm. No worries. Jared Wall out to the lead. Stanley going wide. That allows Cox now to the inside for second. Forrest Smith in the 69 to the inside for third. So Stanley going backwards on an outside lane. Now we find the hole to get down into. 2 and the 22 side by side for fifth. Rudolph and Rodenbaugh. They settle it out. Now the battle is up front. Cox to the inside, but Wall's going to shut the door into 3. Cox still going to put his foot in and take the lead. Turn 4, Chris Cox. New leader in the dash for the Grand American Modified. This is going to open up the inside lane for the 69 of Smith. Forrest to the inside of Wall. Jared on the outside. Trying to keep pace. He might need to sneak down behind Forrest Smith now out of turn number 2. So your top 4 all together. Then we split it off to have a 3-car pack from 5th on back. And now we've got the battle for third. Was the 8 getting loose, Benjamin Stanley. Starting to reel in Wall, but that did not work out in turn number 4. Forrest Smith, half a second was the deficit last time by. This time, still the same. So Chris Cox, not one to be denied here in the Grand American Modifieds at Colorado National Speedway. White flag waves. Now your top 3 separated out by half a second each throughout this racetrack. Out of 4, Chris Cox, 49, checkered flag, keeping that win streak alive here at Colorado National Speedway, whether it's main event or the dash. Forrest Smith, Jared Wall, Benjamin Stanley, Travis Rudolph. Your top 5, the 2 of Steve Rodenbaugh, David Robinson, and Damian Lockhart. Rounds out your top 8 finishers in the Grand American Modified Dash. Here is Cox, your big winner. He's going to get that trophy and do a nice little parade lap. Half a lap at least. right in front of the big hometown crowd here. Colorado National Speedway. Huge crowd. I feel like, I guess I'll say this, right? When I've come here the past 2 times, Jeff and I, we've come for the Outlaw Figure 8 Racing action here at Colorado National. And I want to be corrected, and I'm glad that I am, because when we came for those events, crowd was packed, just like it is tonight. And I kind of was wondering, okay, let's be honest here. Is this the crowd because they're excited to see Outlaw Figure 8 cars on this big Figure 8 course? Or is this what they have weekly? Well, got my answer. I know it's a big night. We got the Southwest Tour Series returning after many, many years, 2007, thanks to Salted Metals, Buckeye Welding Supply, so many others. But we got another knockout crowd. I mean, we're over the PA. I'm hearing them saying, hey, do your best to make room for our late arrivals here tonight. That means we're getting close to standing room only. Not a lot of seats to find. A great crowd at a great racetrack. Colorado National has it going on. It's not a rub by any means to any racetracks. What I'm just saying is, something about this track, they pack in the stands. And these are a lot of grandstands to fill, so that's very impressive. Okay, so I do see a flagman in a weird placed position. Something tells me we've got figure 8s coming up next. Or else this guy just really wants an interesting view. And he also brought his flags. So we got figure 8s coming up. Now, 2 weeks ago we were here for the Outlaw Figure 8 Rumble in the Rockies, and that string of tires right there, not the big one that says me on it, that string there was almost what took out longtime leader in the race, Austin Tunney from Indianapolis, Indiana, from that win. He was trying to avoid a spin, went off course. Now that string of tires was near the start-finish line next to the race course, not where it is located currently. He ran it over, got lodged underneath the race car, almost sent him out for the night, and that would have ended that run in the lead. But he was able to get it unstuck and continue on with the lead and the win. Outlaw Figure 8 cars are always exciting, purely because of the corner speed and how fast they're going through the intersection. But I've heard for many, many years, Colorado National Speedway's local Figure 8 course and class, right here on the racetrack right now, could be rivals to how exciting the Outlaws do it. So I only know the Outlaws to run this Figure 8 course and maybe a train race when we were here. But I have not seen what the local competitors can do in their Figure 8 cars. So I am excited. First time seeing them turn racing laps here in practice. It was interesting. Got cars slipping and sliding around on these Hoosier 970s. Some familiar faces in this race that competed in the Outlaws. So, with that, the field at the ready. Frank Gastineau in the 13, Joe Gastineau in the 11, your front row, Adam Gastineau and Justin McKeach. I'm probably saying that wrong. Sorry, Justin. And the 50, 57 of Kyle Quintrell. And the 52, you're going to hear this name probably more than once tonight, Jared Wall. Yes, the same Jared Wall that ran in the Grand American Modifieds. So this will be the Figure 8 Dash. We are coming to the green. You'll notice that there is no scoring on screen, and that is because this track, Figure 8 track, does not have a scoring loop. It's all hand score. Bless the officials. Bumper to bumper action. Figure 8, Colorado National Speedway. Frank Gastineau, your leader, The entire Gastineau family, I feel like, is racing right now inside the top 3. Justin in the 50, though, trying to break him up, and he does. Very close, very competitive figure 8 class. That's what I was told, and seeing is believing. They are dicing it up. They're rubbing fenders, tapping bumpers. Justin up to second spot in the number 50. The 97 of Adam Gastineau goes back to 4th. Dennis Stepanich, the 3rd, up to 3rd in the 18. Jared Wall and the 52 Hot Rod into the top 5. You see him on the right of the screen, but we got a battle brewing for the lead. Justin now looking to the driver's left, outside lane going into turns number 3 and 4 of the figure 8. This is the battle for the lead. Frank Gastineau going wide, putting the driver up in the marbles, now cutting down low. It's not dirty, it's just figure 8. One of the interesting things about figure 8 racing, whether it's Outlaws, School Bus, or local Colorado National, you got to remember, when you're racing a competitor side by side, half a lap, you've got the advantage. The other half, you do not have the advantage. You're typically stuck on the outside corner from where you want to be. Leading is so important. Track position is key. Side by side for the lead. Gastineau goes back to second. Nope, he's going to do a cross-under move. And the 50, Justin up to the lead. Tapping the brakes there for 5th. Yellow, yellow, yellow. We got trouble in the number 67 turn number. Oh, and we got a spin coming across the line. Okay, 67 of Swinson going for a spin in turn number 1 of the figure 8. So 2 spins on lap number 7. This will be a 12-lap dash. And I see on the scoring that this is what they consider a full dash. So every car in the field are running in this full dash. That's the way I would take it. So I didn't get through the entire lineup, so let me help with that. Kyle Quintrell in the 57 I did mention. Cassidy Creekmore, I don't remember if I did. Michael Wolf in the 3. We just saw Swinson going for a spin in turn number 1. Michael Kephart in the 64. Isaac Martinez, 71. And Jeremy Wall in the number 15, who's made his way into the second spot. Jeremy Wall, 2 weeks ago in the Outlaw Figure 8 race, was leading up until the car started leaking, blowing oil out of something in the motor. And it wasn't important enough to pull off, but it did detriment that lead, and for him to fall into 4th, I believe, at the end of that main event. So Jeremy Gastineau and all these others right here on the racetrack. Definitely familiar with the local setting, but when the Outlaws roll into town, glad to have a lot of these locals start joining, maybe picking up some cars to run in the Outlaw class. Well, I will say, these figure 8 cars do not disappoint here at Colorado National. Everything as they said, and it looks like they're redoing the lineup here, trying to sort it all out. It looks like Frank Gastineau in the 13 will go back to the lead. And again, if you did not hear, this figure 8 course does not have a scoring loop. Definitely on the to-do list that they're working on. But in the meantime, everything is hand scored, just been what they've been doing for years. And obviously, depending on when the caution comes out, depends on how the lineup is sorted. We just saw a change for the lead between the 50 and the 13. And we are getting the 1 to go, so I'll step aside for a second. You will not miss a lap. Unless I leave you, but that's not going to happen, don't worry. Okay. So on the restart, it looks like the top 3 will be Frank Gastineau, the 18 of Dennis Stefanich the third, and Justin McKechnie, something like that, in the number 50. I'll have to go downstairs and get a proper pronunciation. Coming out of figure 8 corner number 4 to the green. It'll be a 5-lap shootout. And we're already dicing it up for second spot now for the lead. Wall with an outside run. Go where others aren't. Now he's got a bumper for the leader, Frank Gastineau. Well to the inside in the silver and pink number 15. And we have a new leader crossing the line, Jeremy Wall. Gets by the 13 of Frank Gastineau. And we are getting nice and tight and a little dicey. Denver omelet style right here for third. 3 wide entering turn number 1 of the figure 8. And they keep it off each other for the most part. And that'll slip the battle back to 4th. Now we get to see a little bit of a separation now up front and to the tail of the pack. Still on the same half of the race course. And Frank Gastineau with a problem. He peels to the right. Might be a trail of fluid. Let's take a look here. When he goes off track. Well, it looks dry for the most part. I guess if there is fluid, we're going to find out right now as the pack is coming through 3 and 4 of the figure 8. Oh, trouble the 57. Goes for a spin. Wintraw. Quintraw's gonna try to fire it up, but cannot. Oh, right as the caution comes out, Quintraw peels out and will rejoin the field. And it looks like we will have this restart with 3 laps remaining here. Seeing one to go from the flag stand way over here. And if you're looking at the Colorado National Speedway and you're like, what are all these jumps and bumps and everything in the infield? Well, they have a weekly class here called Demo X. And yeah, full-bodied, full-size vehicles that run a bit of an auto motocross course with full contact. Demo cross. Jeremy Wall going way wide. Saw this 2 weeks ago with his Outlaw figure 8 car. Was wondering what in the heck was he doing. Now I see where he gets it from. That long arc helps him keep that momentum going. But the problem is you keep that momentum way up high, you open up the inside groove for the shorter distance, and we see now pressure for the lead. Jeremy going wide through turns number 3 and 4. Stefanich now looking to the inside of that corner. He'll be stuck on the outside. Nope, he's going to single back in line. White flag waves, final lap. Wall has a great 1 and 2. I know I'm confusing you oval people. We're talking figure 8 course. So here's 3 and 4. Even though it's oval 1 and 2. You got me. And Jeremy Wall out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag. And that'll be a 12-lap dash for the figure 8s here at Colorado National Speedway. So we're going to be looking forward to that main event later on this evening. Be a 30-lapper. More than half of this race. Or more than double. You know what I'm saying. So congrats to Jeremy Wall. He's saying, hey, where's my trophy? There it comes. And there it goes. All right, so now they're going to adjust the track back to oval racing, which is undo these cones that have been used up in the corners. Happens quite a bit in figure 8 racing. Every driver wants to cut it close. Sometimes they cut it too close. And we'll have more dash racing coming up soon.
SRL Southwest Tour are amazed that anybody has a track that has this many people. It is a great Saturday night here at Colorado National Speedway. We still have people coming in, so please make room for our late arrivals if you can. Kind of scooch together, make friends with your neighbors, and we'll have a great night of racing here at Colorado National Speedway. Coming up in intermission, we've got some drifters for you. The Drift Colorado is in the house tonight. Going to be burning up those Goodyear tires. Going to be a great show at intermission. Next Saturday night, we race all over again. The 5280 Pit Lighting Short Track Sizzler. Matco Tools Pro Trucks, the GTI Services Late Models, the Rock and Roll Brewery Pure Stocks, Rock and Roll Brewery, oh yeah, they do have their tent set up. If you want a good craft beer, go check out Rock and Roll Brewery in Turn 1, right near the concession stand. You see their black and red tent? Those guys are serving up some of the greatest craft beer I've tasted in a long time. Rock and Roll Brewery will be sponsoring the Pure Stocks next Saturday night, along with the Winnar Racing Trains. Here come the PB&T Bank Super Stocks. Brent Cave in the number 9 on the pole. He is your points leader in a battle with the 97 of Kyle Stidham, who's right beside him in row 1, and the 23 of Jordan Abeda, who's right behind him in row 2. Chris Cox is there in the 49. Alex Rodriguez in the 90 is in row 3, along with the 11W of Scott Long. Watch the front of this field. It is going to be crazy between the 9 of Brent Cave, the 97 of Kyle Stidham, and the 23 of Jordan Abeda. They're lined up nose to tail, ready for a 10-lap dash. Here come the Superstocks. The 23, Jordan Abeda, your new leader. 49, Chris Cox in the second. The 9 of Brent Cave is third. Then the 97 of Kyle Stidham. White flag, final lap. Battle for the lead, final lap, door to door. The 23, Jordan Abeda, the 49, Chris Cox at the line. Giving it to 23, Jordan Abeda. And that should tighten things up even more in this already tight division. There are points awarded for winning dashes and finishes in the dashes. The 23 of Jordan Abeda, currently second in points, picks up a few over the 9 of Brent Cave, who finishes third. Let's hear it for your dash winner, the 23, Jordan Abeda. Here come the Sunoco Race Fuels Grand American Modifieds. On the pole will be the 13S of Jordan Smith. And beside him, the 89 of Jacob Smith. Scotty Scott. In the 6 is inside of row 2, along with the 51 of Kyle Clegg. Holly Clark, the 17, and the 18 of Ed Venturelli, who set quick time tonight in row 3. And the 3, the JM Tire Low Buck Storage Machine of Jeremiah Hill in row 4. 10 laps. Sunoco Race Fuels Grand American Modifieds. And we're green. Spin, turn 3. That's the number 3, Jeremiah Hill. Just got away from him there in turn 3, and we stay green. Trouble for Kyle Clegg in the 51, takes his machine to the pits. Out of turn 4 for the final time, and the checkered flag. Here he comes, the 13. Started on the pole, the 13 has a Jordan Smith, one of the rookies in this division. Picks up a beautiful trophy for winning the Fast Dash for the Sunoco Race Fuels Grand American Modifieds. great racing tonight, race fans. Those Great American Modifieds will be out for 30 laps later on tonight in our features. We'll start off with the Super Stocks for 25 laps. Figure 8s, 20 laps. The SRL, the Spears SRL Southwest Tour that hasn't been here in close to 15 years. We'll run 150 laps for you tonight, a mixture of tour drivers and CNS local drivers trying to win $10,000 tonight. Oh my, look here. Here comes Drift Colorado. Drift Colorado. They'll be here for their own event September 24th. And then they will be back Saturday, October 7th for our Coca-Cola Halloween celebration. Race fans, you can get a chance to meet these drivers. Yep, the Drifters, Drift Colorado. These drivers will be waiting to meet you right near the front ticket booth. So right outside the main grandstands. Now you can get a stamp to get back in. So get a re-entry stamp. Go meet the Drifters. And we can have ourselves a great old time meeting the Drifters tonight following this exhibition. Four at a time. Watch that wall, watch that wall, watch it, whoa, woo! 6 inches. 1.5 feet. Drivers are just smoking those tires. Those tires are a couple of $100. Couple of $100 for the tires. And they're only good for one exhibition. When they finish tonight, the tires come off and get thrown away, and they put brand new rubber on these drift cars. That's great. Look at that. Star in the center. How about it for Drift Colorado? TriStar front stretch. Colorado National Speedway is proud to host a Drift Colorado event Sunday the 24th, so a couple of weeks away. Next month, Sunday the 24th of September, the Drift Colorado event, and then these same drivers will be back to help us celebrate Halloween on October 7th. Uh-oh, that little pop in turn one, I believe, was a left rear tire. Scratch one drifter. How about it for these drifters? Give them away!